Food. We all need it, but do we all love it?
Hi, I'm Milan.
Hey, I'm Matthew. We were both given the opportunity to ask for a once-in-a-lifetime experience from a certain organization that rhymes with shake a fish. So for our wish, we asked to start our very own podcast. I'm just kidding. I went to Boston, New York to watch baseball.
I went to Paris and you're at Disney, but now we have a podcast too.
Welcome to the Wish Kids.
Welcome to the Wish Kids.
It's around lunchtime, and I was thinking, why is eating so hard?
Yeah, I forgot to eat breakfast and lunch today. It's just like it's a big issue now, and it wasn't before, but now it's like I'll wake up and I won't eat, and then I'll like do something else, forget to eat again. I'll be hungry, I'll forget, and it'll be like 4 o'clock. I'm like, oh, I haven't eaten yet today. I should probably eat something. And like,
Might be good.
yeah, it seems smart to eat. But I just forget. And before that was never an issue. Like before I would eat breakfast at 9, I would eat lunch at 12, I would eat second lunch at 2, and then I would have dinner at 6. And it was like a routine, like eating at these hours all on the dot. And now it's just like I'll go hours like without eating, and I don't even realize it until I'm like, oh, I need to eat today. It's not even a matter of like I'll be hungry, but it's just like I need to eat. So like that whole routine thing is just like down the drain. It's lost.
Ooh. I mean, I'm kind of the opposite. Like, I would forget to eat because it wasn't like a part of my routine anymore. And I wouldn't consistently eat when I was on a lot of meds, and I would just kind of get sick, and like the idea of food just became not appealing. So it kind of like was like, okay, like I'm not going to eat because it's like, oh, like it's associated with something not great.
Yeah, no, some meds definitely, but like when I was on steroids, oh man, I had the wildest cravings on steroids.
Prednisone is definitely like a not great med.
Yeah, we'll talk about that more, I think, on a future episode. But that's definitely our opening thoughts or
That's our
opening
teaser.
song. Yeah, that's the teaser for our pregnant episode. But yeah.
um so you said you like craved a lot of foods. Like I would crave tater tots for sure.
Mm-hmm. Fried foods. Fried foods were the best. Oh my gosh. I remember in the hospital for me, 'cause I mean I was getting like steroids and stuff all the time. Um, the biggest thing for me was fried calamari, like fried squid. No, and you make that face, it's delicious. And I would at least once a week, no, probably 2 to 3 times a week, I would make my dad like walk down the hill from the hospital and go to a restaurant and get me fried calamari from the restaurant and then bring it back. And it was so good. I remember all the nurses and doctors would get jealous too. They'd be like, oh, look at you with all your fancy food. I'm like, yeah, I mean, this is what I want right now. But yeah, no, fried foods are the best.
I agree. I did have a hankering for fried foods when I was sick, but not fried calamari. Nope. I no. Ooh, that just makes me like queasy thinking about it. I think mine, like my fried food of choice was mozzarella sticks.
Mm.
Like I was obsessed. And thankfully, like this place that I would get my mozzarella sticks from, they were open until like 1 in the morning. And they have, but before we got in a pandemic, they would have like curbside like pickup. So you could just drive up and get your mozzarella sticks. And that's all I would order. I would order like a big basket. And I'm pretty sure people were like, what are you doing? um and
Really ahead of the game with
I almost
the
got
whole
a
curbside
no,
pickup
sorry,
thing.
you were saying something.
They were really ahead of the game with the whole curbside pickup thing.
Oh
Very
yes, like
very on
just
top
back
of
your car in
it.
just so you leave.
Just
Uh-huh.
load it up with mozzarella sticks, the whole trunk. It's
I even almost got a shirt that said like, if you aren't mozzarella sticks, like I don't want it. But like, okay, they're just good if you're like a specific mood.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
and
very you shirt. I feel
it
like
is. I would definitely rock that shirt for sure.
yeah.
Um, the other day I was like thinking about them. Like I haven't like had mozzarella sticks in a while. And like the other day it just like popped in my head, and I literally was like looking up pictures of them as if it was like a fan account and it was like a blog of like mozzarella sticks.
Just stalking mozzarella sticks. That's like the
Yes, like just I almost might as well just start like a food account, but it's like other people's food pictures of mozzarella sticks.
I saw this one. It made me hungry.
Yes, exactly. I think the other thing that I really wanted was like nachos. And I'm not normally like a nacho person, but like nachos from Taco Bell would like hit really hard on prednisone.
No, I also really like nachos. Not Taco Bell nachos. Can't say I've had those before, but I'm sure
Wait,
that
really? You've never had Taco Bell nachos?
I've
Have
had
you
Taco
had Taco
Bell.
Bell before?
I've had Taco Bell burritos. I had the Doritos Loco Taco. That's
Okay, honestly, what an invention. Like, I
yeah,
mean, okay, I don't eat meat anymore, but when I did and I got that, I was like, this is so smart.
or the quesarito. Like Taco Bell is Taco
Taco
Bell's
Bell's the same food in different formations, but like it's all good in the variations of the
yeah,
food.
but it's like there's so much ingenuity and just like innovation at Taco Bell. Like their chicken. Sorry, we're getting real sidetracked. But like their chicken chalupa shell, like it's like a freaking shell. Like that's genius. Like their yeah, their Mexican pizza. They're on top of it.
Yeah, Taco Bell's really nuanced. You don't need any other restaurants. Go to Taco Bell.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Not sponsored.
Forget those like 3 Michelin star restaurants and stuff. You don't want that. No, you you want Taco Bell. But yeah,
Nachos.
nachos. I didn't have Taco Bell nachos, but I remember one time in the hospital, 2 of my friends came and visited me. And one of them and they brought me nachos from my favorite place back home. And like first off, just like super nice of them to come visit me, like in the hospital, because like I mean, obviously it's not a fun time being in the hospital, um, and like you have your family there with you most of the time, so that's good. But like when friends come and visit, it always is like nice and special. Then the fact they brought me food too, and like nachos from like my favorite place, like ah, that was the best feeling. Like so good. I think that was like my peak steroid period too. So I'm pretty sure I ate the entire. It was like a big box. I think I just ate the entire box like in front of them while they were there.
Whoa.
It was good.
I think that's so cool that your friends did that. And like you were able to have like a good memory from it and you were able to appreciate the food. So it wasn't like kind of negative anymore. And honestly, I think that is probably one of the best ways to start enjoying food again if you kind of stopped because you have that like support and those people to look forward to. And it can be like a great thing to just know that there's like, oh, like on this date, like we're gonna have lunch together. And it's like even if you don't end up eating or you like don't feel good, it's just nice to like see your friends.
Mhm.
And I mean like now that we have a pandemic and like limits on visitation like are even more slimmed than they probably were with your compromised immune systems. Um I think like you can just ask to set up like a FaceTime call or something and it like makes like an event.
It definitely helps a lot. I mean, we've had these problems. I know I've had these problems where like I just I'm not able to eat or I just flat out don't want to eat like anything. Um, but these are definitely things that have worked for me and for us, I think. Where it's just like having friends to eat with you or like sharing a meal with someone helps a lot. Um, and it's just like, I mean, yeah, there will be times where you crave like one food and you won't eat anything else. I remember my mom she would ask me in the morning when I woke up, what do you want for dinner tonight? And I would only have one thing in my mind for that night, like what I want for dinner. And so she would go out and buy groceries just for that night and bring them home and cook that dinner. Cause like I would just have these cravings. If I was served any other food besides what I was craving, I wouldn't eat it. Like it sounds awful, but it's like it was just like you get these extreme cravings, and like I mean sometimes like everything just tastes bad to you also, where you don't want anything, nothing tastes good, but like that's okay, because it'll pass eventually, and when it does, I mean you can just chow down on everything again, which is the best part, when the steroids pass over and your taste buds are back to normal and you enjoy food again. That's the best.
I think that's funny that like you because I mean I totally relate to that. Like I'd be like craving something and there's nothing else sounds good because it's like you get in your head of that like one thing and you just zero in on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing is like if you kind of like stopped liking food for a bit and then you're like really like you need to eat. Like that's the thing is like you're not like not eating with intention. It's more of just not eating because it's like you have associated like negative things with it of like vomiting or something
Yeah.
that is just like, oh, I don't want to ruin that food for me because I'm just like gonna taste it with my stomach acid.
Mhm.
um but
Yeah.
like I would highly recommend that if like you're trying to get back into like food after being like on so many meds, that getting something you liked before, even if it's not a craving, just something like you knew like in the past that was the way like your go-to meal, because then it's something familiar and it just like makes it a little bit better. That's like something comforting.
Yeah, no, that's really good advice, because I mean we both know like all too well that like when you're on treatments, it can definitely ruin certain foods for you, and like it can ruin eating in general, um, for weeks, or like I don't think I ever had months. I'm sure people have though, but like definitely for weeks at a time, it's like I just won't want to eat anything. But yeah, having friends or to eat with, or like having something familiar, like you said, that it's super helpful. So I know some foods I would eat, and then a few hours later I would get sick. Um, and the sickness was like 99% due to the treatment. It had like barely anything to do with the food. But the problem was I still had the taste of the food in my mouth. And so
Right.
afterwards, like I wouldn't be able to eat that food for weeks. Like, and there's some I can't name specific ones, but there are certain smells and certain foods that to this day I'll get a whiff, I'll be like, no, 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 like
Yes, because you associate that smell with that time. And like our scent is like one of our like biggest, it's like I'm pretty sure we've like read about it in like class and stuff, but like um scent is like a big part of memory.
yeah, yeah, like dogs. We're,
Yes, we are all dogs
yeah.
now.
But no, that's like I won't be able to like yeah, so like there'll be foods where I get sick and I wouldn't be able to eat that food for weeks or months. Just one time I remember it was in the hospital, they had baked potatoes. It was like a special, I think. So I was like, "Ooh, baked potato, that's fun, something new." And I ate it and I got sick.
Oh.
And it was awful because I love potatoes, but I couldn't like eat or smell or like look at a cooked potato, like mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, French fries, luckily, were safe. They were
That's
safe.
good.
So,
That's sacred.
yeah, so I got real lucky with that. But like for like a month at least, I just could not even look at a potato without like feeling nauseous. It was not fun.
That's awful. Like I have to agree with you. Like potatoes are probably like one of my most favorite foods ever. Like it's just so versatile. It's like Taco Bell, different forms, but it's the same thing, but it's just so good.
Yeah.
It like potatoes like don't disappoint me. Like they just can't. But
Mm,
I would say that kind of like your potatoes, granola bars were kind of ruined for me for a bit
mhm.
because I would eat them reluctantly so like I could take my boatload of pills because taking pills with you have to take your pills with food, but when you're not hungry, but you like know you like can't take your pills on an empty stomach, but you have to take your pills at the same time every day, so you just need to eat. So it's just like an endless cycle. So you're just like forcing yourself to eat something. Oh, it was like they were like these like mint like chocolate like granola bars. I could not eat them for like 2 years after. I was just like, this is disgusting.
Oh, I mean, yeah, no, I've had that experience like with stuff that's not even while on treatment. Like I'll get hooked on a snack. One time it was wheat thins, I remember, and I just started eating. I ate wheat thins, I think, every single day for lunch, like as a snack in my lunch for at least 3 weeks, every single day. Um, and then one day I was like, I don't like these anymore, and I didn't eat them for a year and a half. Like
Whoa.
I was so sick of it that I didn't eat it for like, yeah. But that was off treatment, but on treatment it's like that but magnified.
Yes. That was like actually gonna be like my next point that I was gonna bring up was when you get that craving and then that's all you eat for a period of time. And then like suddenly you can't eat it for like months. Like it kind of sucks because it's like it's such a good food, but then I just can't look at it. I don't even want to hear about it.
Yeah, no, it's like it's kind of sad. It's like, oh, it was so good. It's like a song too, where you overplay a song
Oh
and then
yes.
it becomes like you're like, I don't want to listen to it anymore. It's like that, but food. It's like this is so good. I'm gonna eat it all the time, and
So
then
much.
then you eat it too much.
Yeah.
It's a shame. It really is,
Yeah.
but it happens. I mean, and then it goes away. That's the good thing. All of this, most of this stuff, it passes, and you're able to like um get over it. You're able to eat your food again. You're able to have like normal cravings. Like I still get cravings all the time. It
Well,
doesn't go
okay, I
away.
think like normal food cravings are like it's normal, but like I think when you're sick, it like you said, it does get amplified. And especially like when you're on a lot of medication, that's like a part of the factor is that like you will like crave food.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's a huge side effect of it. Like
Yeah.
positive and negative. Like I like food. I wasn't mad about wanting to eat all the time. Like I was okay with it. But no, like I think like definitely with those medications, it's like having a routine and almost like a tradition, not in like a historical sense, but just like having like a tradition of like taking the medicine and eating the food really helps. Like last episode I mentioned how like I would go and get food with my family after treatments, and that was like something that was really fun and really helped just like me to remember to always eat and just like make eating a fun event.
Hmm. I agree. Like that's kind of like what my parents started doing with me. When I would go down and we'd have like checkups and everything. Like we still do this to this day because like we obviously still have to go get like make sure our vitals are stable and blood count and whatever. We would always get frozen yogurt after like treatment and just still now. And it's just it
Hmm.
makes like the experience that is usually not so fun or that is like negative like just way more enjoyable for me. And but I want to tell a story about my frozen yogurt. um there's a time, okay, I'm like super picky, and when I used to get frozen yogurt, I wouldn't get any toppings. And I know that sounds like crazy because it's like ice cream and it's like
Yeah,
normal
that's
people put
insane. You're crazy. That's too
okay,
much.
wait, I have two stories. I'm
Okay.
gonna tell I'll tell the first one that
Finish the
like
first one. Yeah.
that is related to the hospital. um, there are these cookie sticks. I'm not really sure what they're called, but I would get so many in my frozen yogurt. Like I would put them in a circle, like all around. Like I barely got any frozen yogurt. Like we could have just gone to the store and bought like the cookie sticks or
Mhm.
whatever. But just like putting them in my frozen yogurt and making a design, it was like huge. And I'm pretty sure like that's why my frozen yogurt weighed so much. um, but like it became like a thing and we would go all the time. It'd be like a 3 times a week occurrence because we
Yeah,
were like always in the hospital.
that's a lot of
And
frozen yogurt. That's
you had a lot of calamari.
yeah. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's
um but the lady that like manages the place, she would recognize me every time we'd go in there and would always have like a fresh box of cookie sticks ready for me. And we even like took a picture together.
that's awesome. That's so nice, actually. Like,
Yes, it was really cute.
yeah,
Okay, wait,
that's
I do have like
sorry.
another
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
I have a frozen. It's not really related. This is kind of before. This is pre me getting sick. I would go. We were like in like fifth grade or something. I don't know. And I would go and get frozen yogurt. And I don't know if like people know what I'm talking about, but they have these like little fruit balls. Like they're not. It's not like fruit, but they're like pink and yellow balls of like gel like fruit things, and they're like called fruit poppers or something, and they would look so good. Okay, like I just imagine like chewing on it and like getting like a burst of like mango flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being like, you know what, I'm gonna get so many of them today. So I scooped a huge like it was like maybe like a fourth yogurt and then like 3/4 just those like things. Oh my gosh, I bit into them and they were awful. It was
Oh.
so bad. And like they looked like fish eggs. And I remember like scooping them out of my like yogurt and putting them on a
Oh,
napkin. It was all wet. It
that's
was
the worst.
ugh.
That's the
0
worst.
out of 10. Don't recommend the things that look like fish eggs.
Oh. Yeah, on your next frozen yogurt adventure, make sure to avoid. Pro tip for you guys out there.
Wait, I do have to ask. Do you like frozen yogurt?
I do, yeah. I
Do you
sorry, yeah.
I was gonna ask if you had a preferred flavor.
I don't know. There's this one place that has just vanilla custard, which I think is different than frozen yogurt.
Yes.
I like custard.
Okay.
It's the best vanilla custard. Oh, and they're chocolate too. It's like I think vanilla and chocolate when they're done well, I think are the best. Which sounds boring, but like it's
No,
true. When they're like creamy and like hmm, when they're good, they're good.
it's like getting softies, like half and half softies, like traditional ice cream, like soft serve. Yes.
You call
Sorry.
it
You
softies?
call them soft
What
serves.
are
I
you
call them
from? What
softies.
are you?
Tomato, tomato.
Okay. I actually I had something relating to your topping story. 'Cause I remember I went to an all-you-can-eat buffet one time. Um,
This
and
already, I know the direction this is going.
yeah, I saw this was when I was young too, probably like sixth grade. So like, and I went with my parents, and I saw something that I had never tried before. I forget what it is now, but it was some dish I'd never tried. I was like, this looks really good. And I start just huge whopping scoop onto my plate. My mom's like, whoa, maybe you should try a little bit before you put a lot. I'm like, no, I'll like it. Like, I filled my entire plate with it. I get back to the table and take one bite. I'm like, oh no. I think I might have started crying in the restaurant because I disliked
Aw.
it so much and used up my entire plate.
Aw. I'm kind of bummed you don't know what this is because I would like love to like either judge you or agree with you.
This is I was super picky back then, and so it was like I think it probably just had like the slightest bit of spice. Like maybe there's a pinch of salt on it and it was too spicy for me. Something like that. It was
That's like me. I used to like be so picky. I mean, I'm kind of still picky now for different reasons, but
yeah.
um but like I was a picky eater. I still kind of am. I dabble in that a little bit.
Yeah. I definitely actually that's one thing that like I think last episode I said I was like grateful for the experience of like having cancer. That's another thing actually is that during my treatment process, before I was the pickiest eater in the world. Um, no, it's okay. Dogs can say hi. I heard it. They're
Sorry,
buddies.
my dog's barking. Love an ASMR dog bark.
This is the food talk. Like, food. But no, I used to be like the pickiest eater in the world. Like, I would eat quesadillas, burritos with bean and cheese and chicken dinos in them. Love chicken dinos. Cheese pizza and pasta with butter and parmesan, and that was it.
Okay, I still eat pasta and butter.
Oh, I do too, but I'm just that was like that was all I ate. Like that
You've
was
branched out a little
yeah.
bit.
But during my treatment, I started eating everything. I was just like, I want to try all the foods, and like most of them I liked, some of them I didn't. Um, Cauliflower is one I still have trouble with sometimes. It's not doesn't do it for me. But like I'm so grateful that like I started branching out and eating, because now I eat anything. Um, and it's really fun to like experiment, try things, and find what you like and don't like. It I mean, it doesn't hurt to try a spoon of this or a spoon of that.
Right.
Just
Unless you're allergic.
unless, yeah, good point. That's
That's the only time it'll hurt.
no, very, very good point. That's yeah, don't eat something you're allergic to. Otherwise, it's
Huge disclaimer.
but I actually had one more story, if that's okay.
Yes, please. We love stories. I mean, this is kind of what we're here for.
Yeah. It was, I remember, so when I was in, my mom and I talk about this at least once a week, probably. We bring it up. It's just because I was in the hospital. And so I'm hooked up to the IV pole, and like they had a pretty good menu. Like they would bring food to your room when you're there inpatient. Um, but one day my mom was like talking about the cafeteria they had there where the food came from. Like, oh, like that sounds super cool. She's like, oh, it's super cool. There's like burger station and like pizza station and soup station. Oh, like I'd love to see that and like go down there and like I really want a burger and onion rings. She's like, okay, let's go. And so like a doctor comes in, we're like, hey, like, is it okay if we walk down there? Because we're on the fifth floor, I think, and the food's on the second floor. Like, it's okay if we walk down there with like the IV pole and just check out the food and get some food. He's like, oh yeah, that's fine. I see no problem with that. This is the doctor. So he's like, we're like, okay, his word is like gold. Like we're gonna take his word for it. And so we walk down there. I'm like lugging my IV pole down the elevator with me and walking around this food court with an IV pole, like still hooked up, still getting like chemo drugs, like through the IV. And we look and we're like, I'm about to get in line to order my burger, and then we hear over the PA system, the entire hospital, it says, Matthew, please return to the fifth floor. I'm like, oh, like, and I got so scared. I was like, oh, like, mom, we need to go back now. We need to go back. Like, what's gonna happen? She's like, no, it's fine. We'll get your burger and onion rings. It's fine. And I'm like,
You're already down here.
yeah.
We're good. We're good.
And so then we walk back up like 10 minutes later.
With your fried food.
I'm holding my burger and onion rings in my hand, and we like walk down the hallway, and like the nurses, a few nurses, and like some doctors at the nurses station are like huddled together talking, and they see me start walking, they like turn, and like, oh, like there you are, where'd you go? Like we went and got food, like you said it was okay. But yeah, that was a really fun time. I enjoyed that a lot.
That sounds like a good memory. Like that's funny. That's like being like lost in a store and like someone's like on the PA system. But like that's even better because it's like that was kind of something that could have easily been like, oh my gosh, like I'm getting in trouble at the hospital. But like that's a good memory.
What are they
So
gonna
wait,
do?
you got your
Oh,
burger and onion rings. Okay. Were they good? Scale of 1 to 10.
it was. I'm not a big onion ring guy, but that was a big craving for me that day. So I think probably on that day it was like a 9 out of 10.
Oh wow. I would be like, oh, like an 8, like 2
No, onion
points
rings
off
are
for
good.
getting scolded.
Yeah, no, if anything that added to the score, that probably, yeah.
Yeah, made it more memorable.
Mhm. Yeah, no, but yeah, food's one of the things I could talk about forever. Like I love food so much. Um, but also I'm very hungry right now because as I stated before, I haven't eaten. And I'm sure some of you viewers and listeners probably have other stuff to do today. Don't want to keep you too long, so we'll wrap this episode up. But first, our song recommendations.
So, because we talked about food so much in this episode, we figured we kind of keep it like in that song genre too. So, all of our songs are kind of food related.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. So my first song, food related, is "Watermelon Sugar" by Harry Styles. And I know you guys are gonna say, like, "Oh, that song's so overplayed. It's on the radio all the time." Frankly, I don't care. Uh, like I care about you guys. I care about your opinions, but like this song is great. Like
It is a great song.
it's in the I have it on all my playlists. I listen to it on the radio whenever it's on. I always sing along. Um, that like part at the very start of the third verse, these trumpets come in, and it's like I love horns. I love a good horn section of a song. Like that's something that gets me.
Yes,
Um,
that's Matthew's judgment of a song. If it has the horns,
so if it
go.
has horns, like good blaring horns that like come in and like kind of like raise up, it's like, oh, that is good. But then I had like a half song recommendation also, um,
Okay.
which is Chicken Fried by the Zach Brown Band. Um, Obviously food related. But I'm pretty sure it's a half recommendation, so I'm pretty sure like everyone's heard it. But if you haven't, definitely go listen. It's like I feel like it's like the quintessential country song. Like that Chicken Fried and then Take Me Home Country Roads. I feel like they're
And
pretty much
Before He Cheats by Carrie Underwood are country staples.
she's like a half step below. No, I think Chicken Fried and Take Me Home Country Road are like one and one, like at the top of like the country music list. Like if you say like play a country song, if someone asks you to play a country song, it'd be one of those two. Um
For you, for your opinion.
in the world. But yeah, Chicken Fried by Zach Brown Band and Watermelon Sugar by Harry Styles are my two songs.
Okay, so I had like a different song picked out today, and Matthew like called me up when he was like, "One, get a food related song," and I was like, "Okay, I have to like think about this." And I found this song called "Strawberry Sunscreen" by Lost Boy Crow, and I think today alone, ever since I found this song, like I had it in my like library, but I just forgot that I had it, and I'm pretty sure I have played it like 4 times today and
Yeah.
like made Matthew listen to it too because it's just so like it's so good. Like 10 out of 10 recommend. And then because Harry Styles, like you just can't go wrong there. I'm also going to recommend Kiwi. It is that song gets me so hyped. I don't like making playlists, but I made a playlist with this song only. So it's like on repeat. So those are my two.
Yeah.
Highly
You,
recommend.
you like adamantly hate playlists. You
Yeah.
like
That is one thing about me. I am not a playlist person.
so I didn't know that. That's impressive that you actually made a playlist for Kiwi. That's like
Yes. It is like the only song in like my sad. It's like titled like a playlist question mark.
yeah, no, that Harry is a good man. Good
Yes.
music for sure. Um, but yeah, I think that's gonna do it for us today.
I
Um,
think so too. And
I hope you ate well while listening. I hope you go eat well now. If you're done listening, go get those cravings filled. Um,
yes. Well,
fried food is good food.
yeah. Well, I guess the Wish Kids will wish you well.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Thank you to our moms for moderating and our dads for proving nuns and occasional thumbs up.
We would also like to thank all of our wonderful nurses and doctors that we've had along the way and remind you that they are healthcare professionals, not us.
Please keep in mind, any medical information or stories shared and discussed in this podcast are based on personal experiences and are not meant to serve as medical advice. Please talk with your doctor about any medical concerns, questions, and guidance as they are trained medical professionals.
Any brands, corporations, trademarks, or characters in the show, even those based on real people, are purely fictional.
The Wish Kids wish you well.